Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having an excellent holidays and you're getting ready for an excellent Christmas. Today is Friday, December 20th, and guess what? Here in Texas, we still have a full schedule of mowing to do the week before Christmas. You guys have been asking me to bring you along for the day when we go out mowing. So I hope you brought your work clothes, because today we're going out mowing and we're already late. Now, when I say I'm already late, I'm not actually late. I'm actually right on time. But this time of year, when you're mowing, doesn't matter how efficient you are, it seems you can never get what you have planned for the day done before you run out of the day. And now what I mean by this time of year is in the winter here in Texas, well, pretty much everywhere, we have these things called leaves. And they're everywhere right now. They just got done dropping majority of the leaves on the ground. Well, that means that every yard we mow today is probably gonna take twice as long to get done because we have to manage all the leaves. And why is that a problem? Well, because we have a full schedule today, and it also gets dark at 5 o'clock. Usually meaning we will not be done with all the yards we have planned today by 5 o'clock. I like to start my days off, especially Fridays, on an easy win. And this is one of my few neighborhood yards. As you can see, there's the yard. The front's actually pretty good. It's the back with all the leaves that takes forever. But typically, this yard takes me about 35 minutes to mow. I'm gonna record today and let you guys know just how long it took when the leaves are on the ground. All right, step one is done. We just spent 13 minutes blowing all the leaves away from the trees and the houses so we can actually mow over them. Now, time to start mowing. We just got done mowing. We are at minute 36. So it took us 13 minutes to blow and 23 minutes to mow. Normally this yard takes 45 minutes and we still have to weed eat and do our final blow. All right, we are done weed eating. We are at minute 52 and we still have to blow. And just like that, we are done mowing this yard. It took us right at an hour and 9 minutes. But man, does it look good. So normally this takes 45 minutes, maybe a little less. But because it's wintertime and because of the leaves, it took 25 minutes more. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, it's because we have a full day without it taking more. If each yard takes 25 more minutes, I can do math. It means that at the end of the day, we really won't be done with all the yards that need to get done. And the reason the yards take more time this time of year is because the first step when you get to a yard is you have to get a blower out and you gotta take and blow all these leaves to a place where you can get them. So you have to blow them away from the house, out of the flower beds, away from trees. Just put them out in the grass somewhere where you can mow them up. And then the second reason it takes forever is because you essentially are gonna have to mow this yard twice. So I'll go over this entire yard 2 times for the most part. And several spots will have 3 and up to 4 passes to get rid of all these leaves. Now for the mower, we put mulching blades on and it helps us really pulverize those leaves, that and the extra passes. But even though we are taking extra time mowing, it's still significantly faster than having to bag this stuff and carry it off. Now, that being said, not all yards take more time, because not all yards will actually get mowed today. So this one right here looks pretty good, right? It's got lots of leaves on the ground, but it's also wet and it was mowed on the last rotation. So even though I said I had a full schedule today, not necessarily does every yard get mowed, because it did just rain and it's wintertime. So every yard is basically a step by step. I still come over here, put my eyes on it, I walk around, I check it out, and if it needs it, it needs it. Likely we're mowing this one because it is before Christmas and they have tons of family in town. So we're mowing just about everybody today, but there's a chance we don't have to mow everything on our list, and we could get done before sundown. Based on the way this week's been going, that's not gonna happen, but there is a chance we could be done today. I checked it out. It is good to go. We're gonna go ahead and mow it. This one right here, on a perfect day, when I don't have to do anything extra, this is a 1-hour job. Let's see how long it takes today with all these extra leaves. So we are done with this yard, and I think it looks amazing. It took us 1 hour and 20 minutes. So far today, we have spent an extra 45 minutes mowing our first 2 yards. Now, why is that important? Because an extra 45 minutes on a normal day means I should be done with my 3rd yard for the day, not my 2nd. Welcome to the 3rd yard. And this is another one of my neighborhood yards. I don't have very many neighborhood yards, but this is one. And you can see the grass doesn't look terrible, but the leaves are in fact very terrible. And this one was mowed 2 weeks ago. So this one, the leaves are doing a toll because it's this bad. The last 3 times it's been this bad. But this is actually my very first customer I got when I started this business, because this guy right here is the salesman who sold me my mower, and I made it part of the deal. I'll buy this mower if you let me start taking care of your yard. So this right here, this was my first customer when I decided to start this company. Now on a good day, on a very, very good day, this is like a 35-minute yard. On average though, it's about 40, 42 minutes. Today, if I could do it in less than an hour because of the leaves, I would feel like that was a win. For such a little yard, that took a long time. Normally about 45 minutes. I was hoping to get an hour. Took me 1.5 hours, but it looks good. But the bad problem with this yard and this street is I always seem to fight the wind. No matter how the wind is blowing, it's blowing the opposite way to help me with leaves. Because we are doing so much extra work, including blowing and mowing several times, we are running out of fuel in this trailer. So, time to top off. Now normally, I do not fill my tanks up during a mowing day. I do that after the end of the week. That way I don't have to stop in the middle of the day. But we're empty and we need to top them off. So I haven't talked about this on the channel, but I have 3 spots I store gas cans. Right here by the door is 2. Right here on the spare tire is 1 that's for regular gas, 1 for 2-stroke. And back there by the door is another one for regular gas and 2-stroke. And the way my system works out is the ones I use or are currently in use are back there by the door. So I can open the door as I'm using equipment. It's right there convenient to fill up. Those 2 stay full, and these are backups for those. Now when those become empty, they shuffle around and the empty ones come up here. So like right now, empty, 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 empty. Those 2 back there are full. So these are now empty, and that's the reason why I put these up here by the door. Because when I need to fill up, gas station's right there. All I gotta do is pull these right here to the edge of the door, fill them up, put them back in their homes. Now, it's lunchtime. I've also never shown this on the channel. I've showed you how I made these lights and these fans right here working the trailer. But I also have another power source in this trailer, and it's for my lunch. So we run this portable refrigerator cooler. Basically, it can be whatever you want it to be. It's electric, and it has a temperature setting right there. So right now I have mine set up to 34 degrees. You can go to whatever you want. You can go to 0. You can make this a freezer or a refrigerator. But in there, I got my lunch and all my drinks for the day. And it's running off of this right here. This is like one of those portable power stations. This is a 1,000-watt one. And it's just running this right here. And it'll keep all my stuff cold for 2 days without recharging that guy. And at first I wanted to make some sort of way for the trailer to permanently run this, but I decided it was just too much work to install batteries and an inverter and all those things when I had all this perfectly available. We used to have this when we traveled, and I repurposed it for my business. That's been awesome for me and my guys whenever I have employees with me. And when we don't have the trailer, we throw that in the bed of the truck, and we still have our refrigerator with us wherever we go. I'm gonna eat lunch. I will see you guys at the next yard. Now we're starting to get to the downside of the day, because after lunch, it's pretty smooth sailing. There's 1 really big yard left, but there's 3 very small yards. So it's kind of like bam, 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 and then you finish up on a really big one nice end of the day. Welcome to yard 4 of the day, and a perfect one for after lunch. So this is another one of my neighborhood yards. It's a very small yard. Super easy to mow, very quick mowing. Even with the leaves, this is a very quick yard. Usually on a good day, this is like 20 minutes or less. Today might be 30 minutes with the leaves, but this is a very fast mowing yard. And the perfect yard for after lunch, because after lunch, you want to start checking boxes off super quick because you just ate. You don't want to catch that slowdown that kind of gets you stuck in first gear where you can't get moving. So this one, great way to start the day after lunch. You're probably thinking, man, I can't believe you planned that out that way. I actually didn't. I did not plan anything out this way. This is the way the route worked itself out. And I start to tell time by the yard I'm on because the route is so consistent every single week. But yeah, my routes, they're not that fancy. I start at the closest yard to my house, and I drive the best path forward to the furthest one from my house for the day. I've tried before where I go furthest from the house and work my way back. I don't know if it's just habit because you do things so many times a certain way that it's weird to do them a different way. But I found that driving back towards the house didn't necessarily always work to the best of my benefit because I had a huge drive in the morning before I got started. Let's get started on yard number 4 and see if we can beat our curve on this one. I think this one, I'll see you guys in about 30 minutes. Yard number 4 done. Looks amazing. And just like typically it always is, 22 minutes to mow this one. This is the great yard to get a whole bunch of things done in a hurry, and a perfect yard for after lunch. Anyway, there it is. Now, the first dilemma of the day. It's 3 o'clock. It gets dark around 5:15. I have 3 more yards. One's really big. One takes 2 hours by itself. And right now in my route, I'm really far out here. I won't finish everything I gotta do, so I'll have to be out here tomorrow. But I would prefer to come out here for some easy yards tomorrow and knock out the hard one today because it's the end of the day. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We're gonna go do the big yard first, and we'll leave the 2 small yards for tomorrow because 2 small yards would be a lot easier than 1 giant yard first thing in the morning, especially on a Saturday. Okay, we are at the big property, and I've talked to the owner, it's 50-50. She basically said I could wait. I'm looking at it. Based on the leaves, it needs to be mowed, but based on the grass, it does need to be mowed. Like so here's this big field they have in front of their house. That's pretty good. There's some leaves over there, but the grass is not overall overgrown very badly. There's tons of leaves over here, and there's tons of leaves in that property because technically this is 2 properties. But this is my big one. This normally takes 2 hours when it's not covered in leaves. I would suspect this is probably gonna take 3 hours this time. They're out of time for Christmas and there's gonna be no one here. So she said we should not mow it today. And I kind of agree with her. Because if I mow this today, I probably will not finish before dark. And I also won't finish my other yards I have to do. I'm gonna go ahead and side with her and say this one can go till the next time. So in 2 more weeks, we'll be back. Plus, they're not 100% done yet. There's still some leaves that need to come down. And then hopefully I can only have to do the major leaf cleanup 1 time and I won't be doing it 2 more times. That being said, we now have 1 more job and we are done for the day. And this next job, it's one of my easiest jobs I do all week. It's also been brought to my attention that I say we a lot when I talk to you guys. Of course, there's no one here. Like, it's just me and my trailer. I don't have a mouse in my pocket, so the we is actually anyone involved with my business, that right there, that makes it successful. So I say it because I think it's disrespectful to say I when I can't do this without several other people helping. So when I say we, it's anyone who's helped me with this company or helps me run this company. So that could be my wife, that could be my in-laws, that could even be the guys that help me work when I have big projects. But today, it's just me and my equipment. But if I say we, it's because we are a company and I do not do all this without the help of we. So that's why I'm always talking about we. So right now, we had to get back on the road and get to our last job. Looks like I'm in the woods, right? It's because I am. Their house is way up here in the woods, and it's honestly one of my easiest yards I have. It didn't make sense when I first got it because it was the only yard way out here, but now that I have enough yards to get here, one of the easiest jobs ever. Quick mow, no blowing, no edging, just knock the grass down. He's out here in the country, he's got no sidewalks, no driveway, nothing. Just basically run over with the lawnmower and get out of here. I hate to say it out loud, this one normally takes 17 minutes to mow, and it's a very well-paying job for 17 minutes. Today there are some leaves, but then again, we don't have to worry about how we direct them because we're out here in the woods. So I'm thinking maybe 25 minutes and we should be wrapping up for the day. We are done. There's our yard. Mowed up, looking nice. Took us about 26 minutes, so a little more with the leaves, but not much more than normal. And that is typically what mowing this type of year is like. We're still doing a full schedule, but we don't necessarily mow every single yard. But the yards we do mow, well, they take a lot more time than they normally do. So during the normal mowing schedule, like when it's not fall, I would have mowed 3 more yards and been done at the same exact time as I am done today. And that's because every yard takes 30 to 45 minutes to an hour longer to manage the leaves. If you've mown leaves, you know what I'm talking about. It's very hard to manage leaves, to do it the right way, to where when you're done, you don't have leaves just scattered out everywhere else. So there's a certain technique that you use when you're mowing to try to make sure when you're done, you didn't just scatter the leaves around, you actually got rid of them. A lot of people have been saying, must be nice to have a very nice trailer because they saw the video when this thing was brand new. Well, it still looks pretty much exactly the same as it did during that day, but this is what it looks like at the end of every week. You can see everything is well used and dirty. I actually didn't even use this, but it's dirty because, well, leaves make lots of dust. But the entire trailer is full of dust. The mower is covered in mud, it's dirty, there's leaves everywhere. The whole thing is a mess. But that's okay, because tomorrow when we get in mowing, we'll probably go through here and clean everything up and do our maintenance because, like I said, this is the last mowing of the year and we may not mow again for another 2 or 3 weeks. So this is like the last push before we do a little break where we pull everything out, clean it up, and get it ready to start the next year. That being said, guys, I think I'm done for the day. I'm glad you guys came along with me. I hope you like these kind of videos. I'm not really sure what to talk about because I just found out it's very hard for me to talk to you guys and do the actual work because, well, there's a lot going on. It's a lot to talk to y'all, it's a lot to do the work, and it's a lot to do both at the same time. Plus, daylight savings. It makes it really hard to finish anything before it gets dark. Like right now, it looks like it's sunny outside. By the time I get home and get this thing back in the driveway, it's gonna be right there at that moment where it's very hard to back a black trailer in the dark into my driveway. I'm sure in the next video, you're gonna watch me clean this trailer and all my equipment inside, and I will tell you the pros and cons of what I thought about all the upgrades I did to this trailer and whether or not they're useful for my business. Do I need to make any changes? And our projections looking forward for next year on how we might reconfigure this trailer to make things more efficient. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We love you, and we'll see you in the next one.